And we've got a ton of fantastic audience questions. So as I promised the audience today, we will do, we're going to get some good amount of questions in here. So I am going to go all the way back to the beginning with the first questions that came in. Kent, one of your best buddies here in the chat, Creationist Crybaby, coming at you. And CC asks, Kent, even you admitted to a limited natural selection. So why do you maintain that scientists say that evolution occurs by chance when it doesn't?
Well, natural selection is exactly what it says. Nature will select certain ones to survive. If I turned all the dogs in the world loose in Alaska, where it gets cold in the winter, many of those dogs we turn loose would not survive. The cold weather would select those designed for cold weather. The husky, the wolf with thick fur, long hair, they would survive. If I turned all the dogs in the world loose in the Sahara Desert, nature would select a certain slice of the dog population to survive, probably something more like a dingo, long legs, thin body, short hair, get rid of the heat quickly. So they didn't create a dog, it didn't create anything, it selected. Natural selection only selects. That's all it does. It's not a creative process. So I agree, natural selection works great, but it doesn't create anything. It just simply selects, okay? Why do you maintain scientists say evolution occurs by chance? Well, evolution doesn't occur at all. We don't see it at all. But you believe by chance the amoeba turned to a whale over trillions of chances. It's just not science, that's all. So keep crying, crybaby. You are wrong, okay? There's no evidence for evolution at all. Nobody's ever seen an amoeba produce a non-amoeba. It's pure fantasy. SpongeBob, believe what you want, but quit calling it science.
Here, lots of questions for you, Jackson. Let me see if there's one for Kent. Okay, here's one from Kent. Creationist Crybaby, one of our #1 fans here, Dr. Dino. CC has a question for you. Kent, what are your thoughts on how many bird kinds were in the garden, and what kinds were those?
I don't know how many kinds God created. He seems to have created birds with the ability to produce a variety within limits. There are now 500 varieties of chickens that have been developed by man. Some for, produce more eggs, produce more meat, whatever. They've never added any information. So I would be wildly picking a number. I would defer to Bermanology.com. Berman is the Hebrew word for kind. And there's a website that's what they do, is try to research how many kinds were there on Noah's Ark, for example. I think the current estimate is it would take Noah could have 8,000 kinds of animals on the ark, and they could produce all the varieties today. We now have 400 breeds of cattle that probably came from 2 cows, okay? So I don't know how many kinds of birds there were. I'd be wildly picking a number, 500 pairs of birds, maybe. And for the crybaby, I got exactly what he needs. Time or more time. It cures everything. Yep. All you atheists and evolutionists need to stop whining. You do believe you came from rocks, plural. If it embarrasses you to have that publicly exposed, get a new theory.